Our post-round coverage from the Masters is presented by the all-new TaylorMade Stealth Irons. Improve your game today. The lead was 5 heading into Saturday, but following some trouble at 18, Scottie Scheffler will sleep on a 54-hole lead of just 3. This wayward drive at 18 forced Scheffler to take a drop after conferring with rules officials. The ball deep in some gorse there. Scheffler dropping and then hitting a beautiful hybrid up to just over the green. It would eventually lead to a bogey, but if there is such thing as a good bogey, this was that. The 3-time winner already won 3 times this year. He went out in 33, but limped home with a second 938 for a 1 under 71. Round of the day belongs to Cam Smith, a 4 under 68 as he sets in solo second and will share the final pairing with Scheffler on Sunday. Smith was the only player to record a round in the 60s on Saturday. The stage is now set for Sunday at the Masters. Another tall task asked on Saturday at Augusta. For more, we say hello to CBS senior golf writer Kyle Porter, who joins us from the grounds alongside CBS golf analyst Doug Bell. Fellas, the 25th anniversary of Tiger Woods' record 12 under win at the 97 Masters, and now another young gun has created some space between himself and the field. A Saturday 71 for Scottie Scheffler, who moves one step closer to that 42 long and green. KP, not necessarily a signature moment and some struggles down the stretch during that round, but what stood out to you about Scheffler here on Saturday?
Well, you know, I walked with him on the second 9, Joe, and it was a little bumpy. You know, it wasn't necessarily that kind of running out in front and running away from everybody that maybe we expected after the 33 on the first 9. And so I think that's actually what stood out to me is that, you know, he didn't play badly, but he made quite a few bogeys in there in the second 9. Bogeyed 12, bogeyed 14. Bogeyed 15, so it wasn't that smooth ride coming home to where you could kind of waltz to victory on Sunday. Now he's going to have a little bit of a fight on his hands with the guy that's been, you know, these two guys, really Scheffler and Cam Smith, have been the 2 best players in the world so far in 2022. You look at the wins that they've had, you look at the strokes gained metrics, any way you want to look at it, these have been your 2 best guys, and now they get to duke it out for the first major championship of the year.
And Kyle and Joe, keep in mind now we have not had a bogey-free round from anyone over the first 3 days at Augusta National. This golf course is difficult, so when Scottie Scheffler posts a few bogeys there on that second 9, it's understandable. The conditions were really fierce today. It was cold. The ball really wasn't traveling much. The wind was a factor. But it's just a hard golf course, and it's much harder this year than it has been. 11 and 15 are almost impossible now since they moved the tee boxes back. And another thing, Scottie Scheffler, I noticed earlier this week, and I was watching his practice session, CBS on the Range, by the way, and he was struggling with the driver. His instructor was there. They were going through a number of different drivers, and we saw that on that second 9 today. The driver was leaving him, and he teed off with a 3-wood at 17. It led to a birdie. It was the driver at 18. You want to get it out there as far as possible. And he poked it over there left in the bushes. Joe, as you showed that highlight. So he's going to have to find some fairways tomorrow. And I know what you're saying. Well, there's no rough at Augusta National. Yes, but you can be out of position, and that leads to those bogeys. So we'll see what happens. Scottie Scheffler's human. He's still the best player on the planet right now, and he's playing a tough golf course. And I think he served himself well with the birdie at 17. And that miraculous bogey at 18 after putting it in no man's land off the tee.
You know, this is not just a 25-year celebration of Tiger's win in 97, 30 years since Freddie got his green jacket, and 50 years to the day proud Texan Ben Crenshaw celebrated his low amateur at the Masters. Sunday, the Dallas native Scheffler will look to bring another back to the Lone Star State. Be Scheffler's 4th win already this season in his last 6 starts. Truly remarkable when you look at the fields he's done it against, guys. Doug, what will be his biggest hurdle on Sunday?
Well, again, I think it'll be nerves, even though you're saying, how could a guy who was the Ryder Cup star and then beat back those tremendous fields, that as you mentioned, in Phoenix, Orlando, Austin, Texas in the match play, how can a guy like that be nervous? Well, it's Masters nerves, and I think he will experience that as they head to number 10 on Sunday. I think Cam Smith can certainly deliver some pressure, added pressure to Scottie Scheffler. Listen, everybody, Jack, Tiger, you name a winner at the Masters, and they will all tell you they feel it. It's a different feeling on that second 9 on Sunday at the Masters, and that's what I think Scottie Scheffler has to get over. Obviously the driver, but secondly, has to get over the nerves and realizing I'm this close to wearing a green jacket for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think the hurdle that Scottie Scheffler has to get over on Sunday is named Cam Smith. Cam Smith's playing some unbelievable golf. I don't have the birdie leaders in front of me right now, Joe, but I gotta think he's at the top of the list. He made 8 birdies on Thursday. He made a bunch today that I saw early on. Didn't see the end of his round because I was walking with Scheffler, but he's gonna put some pressure on Scottie Scheffler early on. I think this is a little bit reminiscent, Joe, of 2018. We had Patrick Reed leading Rory by 3 going into the final round there. Rory plays a terrible first hole, has a pretty straightforward eagle putt on 2 and misses it, and never really applied that pressure. I think with the way Cam Smith is scoring right now, how many birdies he's making, how well he's played over the last several months, I think he will apply some pressure to Scottie Scheffler. So I think we're going to get, I don't know if it'll turn into kind of a shootout, but I think Scheffler will be pressured early and often by Cam Smith, and that's going to be tough to repress as he tries to win his first green jacket.
Yeah, we're always pulling for a stacked leaderboard and some drama down the stretch, and there is some space there, but Cam did give Scottie something to sleep on tonight. Smith 3 back there at 6 under, and I think it's fair to say that these are the 2 hottest golfers in the world occupying this final pairing, guys. Already 5 wins between them this calendar year. Kyle, better scoring conditions are expected Sunday, and you just outlined what Smith is capable in terms of rattling off birdies. You've likened Scheffler to DJ's sort of mindset throughout the week. Do you see some of that in Cam Smith as well?
Well, I think Cam Smith is more like a Jordan Spieth, where it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride. It can be, we saw it on Thursday, makes 8 birdies. Friday, I think he shot 75, 76. So he can be a little bit of a ride. We saw that at the Players Championship about a month ago, where I think he made like 2 pars over his first 13 holes, something ridiculous like that. So he's the guy I think that's going to be, he's not emotionally up and down as much as Jordan Spieth is, but I think in terms of the way he scores, it's a little bit more up and down, where Scheffler, even though this wasn't the case on Saturday afternoon, seems to be more steady in terms of just kind of inching his way forward. So I think they're very different styles, and Scheffler's great off the tee. Cam Smith does it with the short game. He's a good iron, but both of them are good iron players. So I think I hope it gets tight early, because we haven't really gotten a duel here at Augusta National in a couple of years. I think that would be a fun finish to this Masters.
And pretty amazing, guys, when you consider Cam Smith opened Thursday with a double bogey and closed Thursday with a double bogey. Jim Nantz described it as the daily double on Thursday, which I thought was terrific. He's got to obviously avoid another double bogey on Sunday. And over the last 25 years, there's only been 4 winners of the Masters who posted 1 double bogey on their card for the week, and only 1 winner over the last 25 years that has posted 2. So Cam Smith will be joining some elite company to overcome some big numbers. I will say this about Cam Smith. He's a great putter. I mean, we're talking elite. Scottie Scheffler's are good. Cam Smith is elite. So if the best putter wins the Masters, then Cam Smith certainly has an opportunity on Sunday.
And it often comes down to the flat stick. We'll see how it all plays out. We do have to talk Tiger here for a moment. It's all icing on the cake at this point, guys. He will don the Sunday red, which is more than we could have asked for this time last week. He's got red numbers on his mind as well. Could make for an exciting round. As he said, 66 would get him back to even par. Doug, how do you frame this Saturday 78 by the cap?
Well, it's kind of a head scratcher when you consider he had his first 4-putt ever at the Masters on the 5th hole, which was inexplicable. He had 4 other 3-putts, and then 3 times he was just off the green and used the putter and couldn't get down in 2. So it was just a head-scratching day with the flat stick for Tiger Woods. And he was dumbfounded, as he described with Amanda about that. He just said he must have had 1,000 putts, I think is what he said. So the putter's got to come back on Sunday. I know he wants to end with a nice round in the 60s. Getting back to even par, I think, will be really hard to do. But it'll be fun to see him in red. The weather's going to be nice. It's going to be warmer. And as he said today, it was cold, and it definitely affected his leg. And he was walking with a noticeable limp after the round, doing all his interviews. So let's hope he gets some nice rehab, some rest tonight, comes out in that red tomorrow, and shoots a number somewhere 67, 68, I think, would be a fantastic finish to what has been an incredible week for Tiger Woods.
It has been an incredible week, and I think that is a big takeaway, that despite, we'll look back on these numbers 50 years from now and think, oh, that was one of Tiger's worst Masters, but that's not the reality. Having contextualized it in the moment, it's one of his, I think, best performances given where he was at 12 months ago. I think the problem, Joe, is his body is worn out. I mean, he is cooked. Yeah. I watched him on Thursday, I watched him on Friday. And he was, he was hobbling a little bit, and then it turned into a full-on limp at times on Saturday. He's using his driver as a cane, which he's kind of been doing all week. I just don't know how much there is left in the body. I don't know how much you can expect there to be left given what he's been through over the last 12 months. So it would be fun to see him go out and shoot something low. I have to imagine, though, it's going to be something more like 74, 75. He gets a huge ovation on 18, and then on to whatever whatever's next for Tiger Woods.
It should be quite a scene coming up 18, even though the green jacket will not be waiting for him. As for those atop the leaderboard, guys, only 2 players within 5 shots of Scheffler's lead. It's Smith and then Sungjae Im. And Im is playing for plenty on Sunday with his mandatory military duties in South Korea looming and perhaps an exemption on the line if he does don the green jacket. But I want to ask it this way. It was looking like Secretariat by 31 lane set points on Saturday, Kyle. How many horses are really in this race come Sunday?
Oh, there's just 2. The stat that it gets thrown out there, I think it's 27 of the last 31 winners of the Masters have been in the final pairing or final group on Sunday afternoon, and that number is going to move to 28 out of 32 because it's just Cam Smith and Scottie Scheffler. I think if you had 2 guys up at the top that were more inexperienced, that hadn't won Players' Championships, that hadn't been in Ryder Cups, that weren't as hot as these 2 guys, you could talk me into Sungjae, shooting something silly, or maybe even a JT's just going nuts or something like that. But, if Cam Smith falls off, Scottie Scheffler's not going to. If Scottie Scheffler falls off, Cam Smith's not going to. You're not going to see both of them completely fall out of contention. And barring something historic, like a 62 or 63 from Sungjae Im, your winner is going to come from the final pairing of these groups on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree, guys. It's a 2-man race. That final group, it should be fun to watch. We've described how good Cam Smith is and obviously what Scottie Scheffler is doing right now, the 2 best players in the world to date, and it's appropriate that they're playing in the final group on a Sunday at the Masters. I don't see anybody else coming from the chase pack simply because the golf course is just too difficult. And the way it used to be with the roars among the pine trees on the final 9 on Sunday, that's no longer there because the golf course is just too hard, even for the best players in the world. 11 is no longer a risk-reward par 4. It's just let's stay out of trouble and try to get up and down for a 4. That doesn't lend itself to a lot of excitement. And 15, the last of the par 5s, used to be that risk-reward par 5 where you saw all sorts of drama, and they've moved the tee back. And now most everybody lays up, and you have that 3rd shot coming off the downslope inside 100 yards, and it's even hard to get it close from there. So I don't see anybody chasing down the leaders. I think it'll come down to Scheffler and Cam Smith, and we'll see if Cam can be the 2nd Aussie to don the green jacket, or maybe Scottie Scheffler will be the 10th Texas-born player to wear the green jacket himself.
Yeah, I say we tee it forward on 15 here on Sunday, guys. Bring that decision back into play. Would be a whole lot of fun, but we are in store for what should be a spectacular Sunday at Augusta. Kyle, I will give you the final word here. I know how special Sunday at Augusta is to you. As you try and settle your mind tonight, what will be the prevailing thought you're sleeping on?
Well, I think it'll be can Scottie Scheffler seal the deal? That was kind of the, I thought it was a really interesting narrative coming into the weekend, Joe, because in a week that we've talked so much about Tiger, the question on Saturday morning was, can the number 1 player in the world hold off everybody else in the world to win a major championship? That was a question we always asked about Tiger, right in the prime of his career. That was kind of what his career was can this guy who's the number 1 player in the world hold off everybody else to win a major? And I think Scheffler He's probably going to feel some things tonight and tomorrow morning that he's never felt before, and we're going to see some of the oxygen. That air gets a little thin on the second nine on Sunday, and it will for him. It will for Cam Smith. I think we're going to see some drama maybe that maybe it was unexpected even late in the day because that lead shrank to just 3 shots. So I'm excited about it. I know both of those guys are excited about it. I'm ready for Sunday at the Masters.
No doubt heady space awaits. KP, Doug, fantastic stuff as always. We'll see you on Sunday. And this has been your post-round coverage presented by TaylorMade. Scan that QR code right there on your screen right now to check out the all-new TaylorMade Stealth Irons and improve your game today. And don't forget final round coverage of the Masters coming your way on CBS. Coverage beginning at 2 Eastern and running until the green jacket is awarded. You can also stream the action on Paramount Plus and at Masters.com.